Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Auburn Blitz here on this Friday. Brett and Wade here coming to you, and we're glad that you join us every single day here on the Auburn Blitz. Our program brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sense of Green for air that's cool and clean.
That's right. Call Sense of Green, heating, air, and insulation. Your comfort care is our culture. So thank you so much for having me, and we're proud sponsors here.
You're
of the
a living,
Blitz.
walking, talking
This
commercial.
is what
You're
we
like
do
a living
here.
commercial.
That's right.
But anyway,
Living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. But Wade, good to see you, man. Glad to have you here in the studio.
I love being in the studio. I love being in here with you, Brett.
Right.
I wish Andy was here today, but I'll catch up with him. I'm coming up before the Iron Bowl. We'll get back like we did last year. And see if we can.
Well, that was that Three Musketeers up here for the Iron Bowl. Maybe tomorrow we'll get Auburn kind of started in the right direction. These last three football games. I was on Gary Harris's show about an hour ago in Tuscaloosa, and that's what he asked me. He said, what is Auburn? What are you looking for out of these last three games? And I started with defense. I said, Auburn has played well enough defensively to be undefeated. They have. They played well enough. If you had any help from the offense at all, you would have been. They've been in every one of these football games. Well, they had not been in most of the damage has been done by Auburn, to Auburn. You look at that whole beginning stretch where you had the 5 home games to start the season. That was Auburn just blowing their foot off. The Cal game, the Arkansas game, the Oklahoma game. I mean, you couldn't have had more momentum going to the fourth quarter than we had, and that had the ball driving to put the game away, and the wheels fell off. And there really no explanation for why that even happened. But that's been the story of Auburn's season.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, you're a 24-point favorite, but Auburn needs to go back to the basics and do what Auburn football is, and they need to win at home. I said that on the podcast this morning, Wade. I'm like, it was always Auburn going on the road. We'd love to get a road win, but, man, I'd actually like to get a home win right now.
24-point favorite.
24 points.
Can Auburn score 24 points?
They can.
I mean, really?
They can. They can on this team.
Whew, I don't know much
on
about
this
this Limo team. I know earlier in the season they were playing a lot better football than they are now.
They're not playing very well right now.
But, the bad thing about it is I talk to old school Auburn fans like you. I mean, even this season's got me talking to myself as an old school Auburn fan. What in the world's going on? And people all the time are like, saying the same thing now over and over again. One thing happens in a game, and you just know Auburn's done.
Right.
And in the Vanderbilt game, it was Luke Deal, the tight end, running wide open. Peyton Thorne misses him early in that game for a massive gainer, maybe even a touchdown.
Right.
He's so open running the seam. Misses him by 5 yards. The pass isn't even close, and old school Auburn fans are like, they're done. It's over.
Right.
The Oklahoma game, they go out late in the game, 8 minutes left, up by 11, got all the momentum in the world, and run 2 back-to-back pass plays on first down that are incomplete, giving Oklahoma, in essence, 2 free timeouts.
Right.
Old school Auburn fans, get them out of here, they're done. And that's just how it is. It's like, what does this team need to do to grow up to learn how to not only seize momentum but keep it and go over the hump and win a game?
If we just kick a field goal there, and again, that's
asking a lot this year.
That's what I'm saying. But if you just kick a 30-yard field goal, you win the football game. You go up and you're up 14, and at best they're going to tie you. The wheels fell off, but at best they would have tied and would have gone to overtime. But missed opportunities. We missed an opportunity right before halftime against Arkansas, if you'll remember, the interception, which really wasn't an interception. You look at the Cal game, you can't beat anybody when you turn the football over 5 times. Those are the things that, again, if you just play semi-clean football, you win those games probably pretty easily. So Gary said it to me this morning. He said, Auburn, after 9 football games going into this football game, in the preseason, we were looking at the momentum coming down the stretch and staying in the playoff hunt. And now we're 3-6, and we're trying to figure out a way to win 3 games and get the bowl,
the
go
outside
bowl eligibility.
perspective? I mean, we live in this Auburn-centric bubble here in East Alabama and up on Lake Martin and here in this show, and we're lifelong Auburn fans, and we live it every day. What's the outside perspective up there from a guy like him?
Identity crisis.
I mean, are they just? I mean, I know that there's going to be rival fans.
Identity crisis on offense.
No,
but Gary and I are pretty real with each other, and he's like, look, he covers Alabama, I cover Auburn, and he said, look, me looking at Auburn, he said, it's one half of the team's playing great, and the other half is playing terrible, and you get a 3-6 record when you have that. And if you want to sprinkle special teams in there, special teams have not been. I would give.
They haven't been real special.
They haven't. And again, Alex McPherson being out with the condition he's had all year is tough. I mean, the kid's just been through it, and there's no other way to spin it. Towns Magoo, I hate it. The kid came in, he's a freshman. And let's remember that. I mean, all freshmen aren't created equal. And even though he had a great A-Day, you can tell the pressure's gotten to him this year. I think his kickoffs are fine. I mean, he's kicking the ball out of the end zone. But, man, you have got to be able to make a 30-yard field goal in the SEC. Period, man.
I sat there at historic Duck Sanford Stadium in Auburn, Alabama, watching him drill 60-yarders almost at ease last football season, Brett.
Right.
And he's struggling to even get the ball off the tee, it looks like. It looks like one of Randy Lee's duck hooks that he's trying to hit out there around a par 4, dogleg left. So,
He'd have to blow the dust off his golf course.
I have to wonder at some point. I know pressure is pressure. Believe me, we've all felt it, but there's got to be some kind of mechanical thing going on coaching here, too.
Don't we know about kickers, though? I mean, you just use golf as a prime example.
You got the yips.
Man, it is such mental with kickers. I mean, when you miss that first one, I don't remember, it could just set off in your mind, man, like, oh, crap. And then you miss another one, and then it compounds on itself. And now you're such a basket case that, you don't know what the heck's going to happen when you go out there. So Auburn's kicking game, which is normally, like, even during the doldrums, Auburn's always had solid kicking.
Absolutely.
And you could always, we called ourselves Field Goal U because daggum Malzahn, as soon as he crossed midfield, it was like, we're already lining up for a field goal.
Auburn's won a lot of football games over
They beat LSU by kicking 6 of them.
Going back to Pat Dye.
So,
with superb special teams, and to see them struggle like this, it's mind-boggling. My friend Jeff D over at Sensa Green played college baseball, and he equates it to the fact that it's almost like a hitter in high school who hits the ball really well naturally going to college, and the coach is just making a few adjustments with his swing, and all of a sudden he's lost all his confidence. I have to wonder, special teams coaching-wise, what's going on here.
You know why they never changed Tim Tebow's throwing motion at Florida? They tried. And it didn't work. And they said, I'll tell you what, you just go back doing what you do. I mean, and no, it ended up biting him because in the pros it didn't translate. But in college football, they're like, I don't need to mess with this guy because he's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's probably going to win us a national championship. I'm okay with him throwing the ball sidearm. He gets the job done. Let's not screw him up.
I'd have him on my team any day of the
There's
week.
no doubt. No doubt. And Nick Marshall was the same way at Auburn. I mean, Nick Marshall, that guy was never going to be a pro quarterback. So he was an outstanding college quarterback. And, did he do things unorthodox? Absolutely he did. But you know what else he did? He made play after play after play, and nobody could stop him. And it was with his legs. It was throwing the football. I don't care what arm motion you got. If you're a gamer and you're a winner, leave them alone.
Well, Brett, I'm going to tell you, this goes back into what you just said and what Gary's saying in the conversation y'all had this morning about identity. I'm going to bring it all the way back around to that. Those are perfect examples of coaches who knew what they had, knew what they didn't have, and played to their strengths. That's been the problem with Auburn offense all year.
Right.
It's just a massive disconnect that I think that Coach Hugh Freeze thinks that this roster can and should be doing X when this roster can and be doing Y very successfully. I go back to the Vanderbilt game. Auburn tailbacks in that game had 97 yards on just 20 carries. That's only almost 5 yards per carry with the running backs. And they stopped running them. What are you trying to do to us, Coach? Just play to your strengths.
Right after Jarquez Hunter had a career day in Kentucky.
Jeremiah Cobb goes for 28 yards on 4 carries in that game, and they take him out. I take it back to 1991 when Auburn had a tailback named Alex Smith, who would come in and rattle off 2-3 runs for 20 yards, and Pat Dye would take him out and put James Joseph and Stacey Danley back in. If you got a hot back, Coach, run them and keep running them.
First play of the game, I think, against Vanderbilt, Jarquez Hunter had 15 yards on the first carry.
Sure.
I think he ended up with 35 or 40 yards for the game. Would you have thought after the first run of the game he had 15 that he wouldn't eclipse 50?
I mean, Vanderbilt barely had over 200 yards in total yards the whole game. If you told me that, I'd have said
Diego
Auburn just rolled them.
We lost to Vanderbilt. Here's the problem with losing to Vanderbilt. Yeah, they've been on a little heater, and they're the talk of the SEC, and they're coming back down to earth because South Carolina went up there and spanked them about like they should. But Diego Pavia didn't come in here and have a Heisman game to beat us.
Not like he did at
They beat us 17-7, and they played about as poorly offensively as you could play. And if we don't make a shoestring catch, if Rivaldo Fairweather does not make some kind of shoestring catch and turn up field and just score, we get shut out.
A lot of questions.
Wade, we get shut out.
A lot of questions with that quarterback position still. Hopefully there'll be some answers this week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we come back. Some commitments for Auburn in football. You got signing day about 3 weeks away, so we got a lot to cover. We'll have Jason Caldwell on with us at 12:36 as well. So stay tuned. Just getting started here on the Auburn Blitz.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Runner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell. There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
We're hammering down high prices at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. New Chevy Silverado 4x4 crew cabs discounted up to $14,000 off. Brand new 2025 Chevy Equinox compact SUV with high-tech features discounted up to $4,000 off. Enjoy your holidays with no payments until February. Choose from over 500 new and used on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here. 45 minutes left in the show today. Brett and Wade here with you. Our program brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green. 256-234-6221 if you want to call in. John said, happy Friday to everybody. He said, who is your cohort in crime? Familiar voice. This is Uncle T-Bone, John. You probably heard him on the radio out there, but Wade been with us for a couple years now, and glad to have him maybe more in a more permanent role coming up here in the near future. But at least it's going to be continuing on Fridays with Sensa Green.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Sensa Green is a proud sponsor of the Auburn Blitz, and we're thrilled to be up here on Lake Martin pushing into the market. Good folks. And we do good work, so just give us a shout over at sensegreen.com. We'll come take a look at your HVAC or insulation.
John Paul said, how can we rebuild the football program at Auburn where it's a top-notch football program again?
Well, I mean,
I think they're trying
you know,
right
back
now.
in the day, the obvious answer is recruiting. I don't
Right.
think that that's the only magic bullet it takes anymore.
No.
You got to make some better choices in the transfer portal, which I think Auburn's done a good job of staffing up with Kenyatta Watson especially.
I agree.
And the other guy, Will Redmond, that came over from LSU. That includes a very strong NIL. Auburn fans, you must participate in On to Victory, even if it's just the smallest amount per month. Every dollar counts for Auburn athletics with that. And then I just think it takes the absolute standard of excellence within the athletic department. Someone's got to step up. No one's going to be Nick Saban. I mean,
No.
Nick Saban's Nick Saban, but you know what? Every single day you got to get better, and you got to embrace the process. You got to embrace the journey, not just the goal. And sometimes I think Auburn sets a goal, but they don't embrace the journey.
Right. I agree with that. I think you summed that up about as well as you can do it. All right, talking about recruiting, Auburn picked up a couple more commitments this week. They just had a decommitment from the kid that ended up flipping to Ole Miss.
Core.
Yeah, Dante Core. And everybody kind of felt like that, but they replaced him with Shamar Anu, four-star cornerback from Carrollton, Georgia, teammates with Juju Lewis.
Sure.
And again, he was committed to USC just like Juju Lewis was, but now comes over to Auburn and originally chose Southern Cal over Auburn and Florida State. In 24/7 has him ranked the number 49 player in Georgia, number 35 cornerback in the country, 6'2", 175 pounds. Again, a really good, solid player from the state of Georgia. So you lose Dante Korb, you pick up a four-star here in Shamar Arnaud. All right.
Carrollton, Georgia, hotbed of
Man,
high
just
school talent. Good pickup right there for Auburn. They need to continue to recruit that area very intensely.
Twin brother of Derek Smith, Eric Smith, has committed to Auburn now, 6'6", 190-pound wide receiver from that Southside Selma team, ranked the number 257 wide receiver in the nation, number 78 player from Alabama. So picking up Derek Smith's twin brother there. So a couple more commitments. Auburn still ranked number 5 according to 24/7. Read a little bit on Deuce Night over the last few days, kind of getting some information. not Hugh Freeze, but Lane Kiffin was at his high school yesterday. Of course, he's going to go over there and gauge the temperature of where Deuce Knight is. Deuce Knight was just at the Georgia game, and, they said he had a good time. And, of course, Ole Miss just gets the flip of Cunningham from Alabama, and they're really close. But Deuce Knight's really close with Alvin Henderson, too, and a lot of these Auburn commitments, and been a big part of this reason why he flipped from Notre Dame to come to Auburn. So, will he give Ole Miss a look? Yeah, probably. But at the end of the day, I think he ends up signing with Auburn.
I think it's a good sign that he hasn't flipped yet.
Right.
It wasn't one of those emotional roller coaster things where he rushes the field after Ole Miss beats Georgia and does a Caleb Cunningham to Alabama like he does it to us and says, I'm out, I'm gone next day. So this thing goes one or two ways, right? It goes all the way down to signing day and he breaks Auburn fans' hearts, or it goes all the way down to signing day and he continues to be a solid commitment here and signs and makes Auburn's hearts.
He's the nugget in the class. This class was a good class, and the one outlier was the quarterback, and it was Notre Dame, and he had a great relationship with the coach and staff and a lot of the players up there, and it was a hard pull, but at the end of the day, he loved Auburn. He had a great relationship, or still has a great relationship, with Alvin Henderson and some of those guys. I think at the end of the day, that wins out, and, of course, I think Auburn's NIL deal with him is really, really nice. And
you saw where what school's trying to make a move in on Juju now?
Colorado.
In-state Georgia.
Well, Georgia, but, the crystal ball has shifted to possibly Colorado now. And, look, if Deion stays, which that's up for grabs too, but if Deion were to stay at Colorado, man, how after what he's done with Shedeur and being the imps of Shedeur, really, you talk about just interjecting him in place of Shedeur Sanders, that becomes a very lucrative deal for Juju Lewis at that point. Hey, look, Indiana still in play.
That's the one I'm thinking. I'm like, listen, if you're going to go play anywhere, and I know that Deion Sanders is making some noise, but the threat of him leaving would make that a little bit questionable for me. But Kirk Cignetti and Indiana are legit.
They are.
He's a fantastic football coach. There's the connection up there with, I think, the offensive coordinator and Juju. So that could be a team to watch out for. It's just a matter of how much money they can come up for. But I said it from day one. There ain't no way that Georgia's just going to let him walk up out of that state, no matter how frustrating it is to Kirby Smart, how much money it's going to take to get Juju, which that's been a bugaboo of his.
Right.
But there is no possible way on earth, especially with the quarterback play you've seen at Georgia this year and how sporadic it's been. Heck, that guy's stats barely better than Peyton Thorne's stats.
It's not much better, for sure. He's been a turnover machine, and, Georgia has not been sharp a lot of the year. They've been able to squeak games out. But, if I'm Juju Lewis, Lincoln Riley's done really good at getting quarterbacks Heisman trophies, and they hadn't won much, though, under Lincoln Riley. So that's something. And how far? You want to go all the way over to the West Coast and play? Now, Colorado's obviously over there as well, but, you want to stay home at Georgia, or you go up to Indiana, which is much closer to home than having to go out there. And, of course, Lincoln Riley really ain't proved anything to me.
No, I mean, he's put some quarterbacks in the pros, but they've been disappointing.
He's going to go to the pros wherever he goes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, they beat LSU, but, whatever.
He ain't got a hat. Well, that was a bad game for LSU. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We're your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dable, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. About halfway through our program, we'll have Jason Caldwell on with us in the next segment, and you'll stay tuned for that. Brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green. Got Wade here with me today. Got some comments coming in. John said, I expect bowl games will have a good bit of recruiters from various schools for transfers this year. He said Lincoln Riley is on kind of a hot seat, isn't he? And their football program recently got some type of probation that I don't believe involved Riley, but all that and losing does not speak well to stability.
Well, they stay in trouble out there at USC, don't they?
That's just a dumping ground for trouble.
I mean, golly, they've been on probation for like the last 30 years, it seems like. How do you get on probation in today's world? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the NIL.
What do you have to do that's so egregious to get the NCAA to even come knocking anymore?
And then why would you accept any of their ramifications? You just say, get out of here, we're going to sue you, and then threaten a lawsuit or threaten a player to sue them, and they'll just go away.
God, I mean.
What a paper tiger. I'm sure if there's anybody that can get put on probation other than USC, it'd be Auburn, though.
There's no question. If you want to figure out the team that, if you want to figure out a team that can bring the NCAA in these times,
I better not call it up because it's been like record years. Since
just
we've gotten in
don't
trouble.
say anything. All right,
We're so bad we can't even get in trouble right now.
They just feel sorry, don't they?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we can't do any more damage than they're doing to themselves. All right, Hugh Freeze is pumping the brakes on Peyton Thorne's status for the weekend against La Monroe. He did not throw at all during the team's bye week, but returned to practice on Tuesday. And then Thorne told reporters that he was good to go. So we talked about that on Wednesday's teleconference. Freeze was not so confident. This is what he said. He said he's not as far along as I'd hoped he would be with the shoulder. He thinks he's going to be fine, but he was not ready to play yesterday for sure. Is that Hugh Freeze's way of easing him out?
Yes.
Is this what we're looking for here? Is that instead of just a hard sit to the bench, it's hey, he's hurt and banged up, and now this gives us an opportunity.
My elbow, it's broken.
That's it.
Come on, man. This is just another example of the disconnect between those two. Earlier in the season, it was I was in the right play, he wasn't in the right play, who's in the right play, who's calling the plays. I mean, the offense has been and this to me is just another example of it. Well, I think he's kind of hurt. I don't know. I'm fine, Coach. Put me in.
Right.
So where are we really? It's just unfortunately this season offensively, and I hate to put it this way, it's the only way I can put it, it's just been dishonest for Auburn. You get a coach who's sick during the Kentucky week, and he was sick.
Yeah, he was.
He looked
No,
awful.
I know he was. No,
and the offense comes out in different formations and shoves it down Kentucky's throat running the ball. And then the next week, everyone's good, no more food poisoning. We go back to this weird offense that we're trying to run with the personnel that doesn't work. Fact.
All right, so here's Thorne's reply to that
here
quote.
we go.
A lot better than last week, Thorne said on his injury. Got some good treatment. Obviously been working every day to get back to normal, feeling good. So there'll be no more. Obviously, they cut off SEC or player availability after that interview. So there we go. Ambiguity at its finest, like we talked about.
Who starts tomorrow, Brett? Tell me right now before we get Jason Caldwell on here from AUTigers.com, Scout.
And we're going to ask Jason what he thinks.
Give me your prediction.
All right, Walker White.
Oh my gosh.
I think he's going. He's
start. Been on the scout team.
I think. Well, the last 2 weeks. You've had a bye week, and then he got a majority of the snaps in the scrimmage.
I mean, it's not going to hurt my feelings to see it. I think that if they go in a different route, they'll go back to Hank Brown.
Could be Hank.
That's the more conservative approach here, and try and get him some confidence against ULM. Try and get a W. Try and get something going against A&M.
I'm gonna roll the dice and say Walker White, but I may be way off. But in the press conference from Hugh Freeze talking about the scrimmage, he said Walker White got a majority of the snaps. Now again, you got to remember Peyton Thorne was out; he wasn't practicing. So
they scrimmaged last week.
They did.
Okay.
So he got a majority and made a play, and they talked about the play he made, and he talked about making a play with. He didn't name the receiver, but he said.
You got to wonder, looking back, how banged up Thorne's been a couple of times, because some of these throws have been so bad, like the one to Luke.
What are you going to do when Walker White comes out there and is like
lights it up
like dadgum? I mean, are you going to go? What the heck?
Why haven't we played him yet? If anybody comes out there at quarterback and looks really good, not just against ULM, but does the same against Texas A&M, there's going to be a lot of questions out there on why Peyton Thorne has continued to play when we've been so putrid at times.
If there's a quarterback on this roster that's going to be the starter next year, it's going to be Walker White. Look, it's not going to be Hank Brown. If it's a quarterback on this roster, it's going to be Walker White. If not, it's going to be a portal guy that's not even there yet. Deuce Knight's not going to be ready. You're not going to put that guy into the fire right out of the gate. So you got to get a portal quarterback. But if Walker White is going to be the guy, why not play him now? Why not get him 3 games of experience? What are you playing for, man, at this point? I mean, 4 wins, 3 wins, 5 wins? Who cares? This is not like – and if you go to the bowl, what does it matter?
Yeah, they're going to a bowl game this year. It's called the Iron Bowl.
That's it. That's it.
They're not.
If you were to win out, you would go to a bowl. You'd have 6 wins, by the way. But it would be the Birmingham Bowl or something like that. Again, would that be good to have extra practice and all? Yeah. But now's your time for extra practice.
Really, it didn't help last year.
It didn't. But my point is, if you know that's going to be your guy, give him some in-game experience going into the spring.
If he's got a pulse and can actually run an offense semi-efficiently,
right,
and is not scared.
Well, he's a better athlete
and
than
can
those guys.
just go out there and ball the last 3 games, then have at it, my man. And every Auburn fan get behind him and support this kid and wiggle, War Eagle, because that would be a lot better than what we've seen at times this year. And if Peyton Thorne can't get the job done, especially if he's injured, and now I'm kind of wondering how injured he was at times during this year, because he's taken some shots.
No, he's taking some shots.
And he's also looked a little skittish at times like he didn't look last year, which kind of indicates to me that he's a little banged up, don't want to get further injured.
Right.
Let's roll out Walker White and let's let it rip.
All right, Ed said.
I'm in.
You're in?
Yeah, total all in.
And then we'll get Jason on, and he'll say unequivocally it'll be
holding grinning ear.
Yeah, and there's no way he's playing. All right, Ed said Freeze has been sick since May, when he said Thorne was as good as Cam Ward. What a terrible decision, and it shows on his face every day. Look, we said it till we were blue in the face. When that guy got in the portal, that was Auburn's opportunity to vault themselves to the top and mask some deficiencies while they continue to grow this program. He missed it, dude.
It was a mistake.
He missed it.
I'm going to tell you this. I don't think powers to be at Auburn that put the type of money up to get the Cam Ward type players will allow that mistake to be made again.
But why do we always have to make the mistake?
Because we're Java.
So, all right, Jason Caldwell coming up next. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone, 256-750-0381, or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensagreen.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Friday. Let's go back to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro hotline and welcome in our good friend Jason Caldwell from Auburn Undercover. Been a couple of weeks, Jason. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Yes, sir. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. Coming off a bye week. Let's talk about this football team at 3-6 heading into Louisiana Monroe, 24-point favorite. The biggest question all week is who's going to play quarterback because Peyton Thorne was banged up after the Vanderbilt game. Just your thoughts on what we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he's been okay the last couple of days in terms of practice. Still not sure that it means that we'll see him. I would guess Hank Brown will get the start, and you know, Peyton would be a guy that's available in an emergency if needed. But it feels like this is an opportunity to go and get Hank Brown some reps and allow Peyton to get, you know, more rest and get fully healthy heading into those final two. But, you know, we'll see it, you know, one of those things where these last couple of days, it may depend on how much he's able to do. Being okay and being able to turn it loose full and recover are two different things. So I guess we'll find out more tomorrow morning.
Jason T-Bone here. How are you, buddy?
Good, man.
Listen, a little bit of a mystery after the Vanderbilt game, especially in that second half of what happened to Jarquez Hunter. How come the ball didn't go more to him and the entire running attack? The tailbacks themselves had 97 yards on 20 carries in that game. Is everything okay there, or is there something that we're missing with Jarquez Hunter?
Yeah, no, I think it's okay. I think some of it had to do with, you know, I think he had 15 on his first carry, and then he had 35 on the next 11. So I think they were like, some of that was the lack of success after that early run for him. And Vanderbilt saying, look, we're not going to let you do that. And then the other part of it was, other than a last-ditch effort, Vanderbilt had the ball the entire fourth quarter. And so, and then, you know, you get that score there, I think that kind of killed it. So I think some of it was two of your possessions at the 1-yard line where you didn't get a first down. So I think it was a combination of a couple of things. I think as much as any of it, though, had he been ripping off 18, 15-yard runs like he was against Kentucky, then you're able to keep getting the ball. But I think, especially because of field position, they just couldn't get enough things going offensively to continue to get the ball there. So I think it was probably a little bit of everything mixed in. But, yeah, I think there were some touches that should have been had, but I don't know that there were going to be opportunities to get to 25 on that day, but you probably should have had a few more just to see what happened.
Jason, let's cram. We got a lot to cram in about 6 minutes here, so I want to go over to recruiting real quick for football. Signing day coming up in about 3 weeks. Just your thoughts. I know Deuce Knight was at Ole Miss last week and was part of that atmosphere and that win over Georgia. Everything still feel pretty firm with him?
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be here tomorrow, and he's supposed to be back for Texas A&M too, so still feels good. I would say that if you make that trip, and they've got a playoff game tonight, if you're at a playoff game tonight in George County, Mississippi, and you're here tomorrow morning at 11:45, that'd be a pretty good sign for me for Auburn. So he's supposed to be here tomorrow, and so, yeah, still looks good there. And this class, these guys can kind of continue to hold together. You lose a commitment in one guy, but to me you had a better player in Shamar Arnaud, corner from Carrollton, Georgia. I think this guy's as underrated as it gets in this class. So I thought Auburn actually helped themselves flipping corners this week. But, these guys continue to stick together, and I think that's the biggest thing right now.
Follow up on recruiting, Jason. Eric Smith from Southside Selma. He's the twin brother of Auburn commit Derek Smith, who just about everybody in the free world is trying to recruit, who's committed to Auburn. 6'6", 190, that's a big boy to throw the ball to. Does this size, does his play, is it more than just an insurance policy here? Is he going to actually get a good look at Auburn, or is it just kind of one of those things, let's get him on campus so we can lock down Derek as well?
Yeah, I think I think if he couldn't play at all, then I don't think you're in a position to do that. So I think you have to think he's a guy that has some future, because Auburn, you can't really waste a bunch of spots. So I think, to me, I watched him for the last couple of years, watching him play basketball as a ninth grader, I think, and I've always thought hybrid tight end down the road. That's what I've always thought he was going to be. And so I think this is the guy you come in, get in the strength and conditioning program, training table. Derek's always been the football player that played basketball. Eric is the basketball player that's played football. He's got ball skills. He can run. I think a couple of years down the road, can he be 6'6", 235, and can you play him in that Rivaldo Fairweather type hybrid role? I think that's the future.
All right, Jason, finally, let's shift over to basketball. What a massive win for Auburn on the road against Houston. They come back Wednesday, get a solid win over Kent State. Didn't shoot the ball well, but just, again, won easily because of the way they play defense. And they play they've got one more game before they head out to the Maui Invitational. Just kind of your thoughts on what this basketball team is right now.
Yeah, I think you look at it, to me, the story of the season so far has been Chaney Johnson. I think he was the biggest question mark for me coming in, and so far he's been a pretty resounding answer from him, the way he's played. Depth outside, Miles Kelly's still not into a rhythm yet after being sick for 2.5 or 3 weeks. So I think you look at depth, talent, the ability to play different styles of basketball, and then defensive intensity. I think it's a team that's going to have a chance to be a serious contender as you get down the stretch, and they'll get tested plenty in the preseason. I think that'll be good for them.
Jason, as always, we appreciate you being on the program with us on Fridays. Again, I know you got a busy night. You're going to be over at Auburn for that Auburn-Thompson game, so that should be a fun one. And, again, we'll catch up with you next week, brother.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks so much. That's Jason Caldwell with Auburn Undercover, Wade, and always good to have him.
Yeah.
Covers Auburn as good or better than anybody on the beat there.
I mean, he's been covering Auburn football for
Long time.
And he knows what's what. I wish I could have asked him, though, and I want to ask you, Brett. I mean, we mentioned it earlier when you were talking to Gary again, how the outside perception is Auburn's defense, and it is true, has kept Auburn in every football game.
It has.
Where's this locker room right now?
I think the locker room's really good. I had a chance to talk to a couple players this past weekend, and believe it or not, man, they were all smiles. They loved the feel of the team. They loved the chemistry. There's no inner turmoil, which is awesome to see when you're going through some struggles. I think they understand they're young. They're very young, especially a lot of the contributors. And they know they got a great class coming in. And, you know, a lot of these younger guys, you know, they've improved as the years gone along. And, you know, it hasn't been what they wanted, but I think they see a bright future.
Well, I mean, that right there is another answer for John Paul's question earlier. How do you get back Auburn to a championship level and caliber
That's how
program?
you do it. That's
how you do it. No matter what happens the rest of the season, one thing I haven't seen this season is that team lay down no matter what. If they keep grinding like that and they keep having that attitude, I think they
if you could somehow get a shocking win against A&M or Alabama,
they need one.
Would be huge to end the season. So, all right, it's going to take us to our final break. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Senza Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Sentricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on the final segment of the show. And this is not Wade, as you can see. I'm glad to have Dr. Nilo, the dentist from down in the Stillwaters area. Dr. Nilo, good to have you on.
Great, thanks for having me.
And I didn't know I was in the presence of such a celebrity when you came in. And just to introduce you to everybody out there that's watching, and they're going, why do you have a dentist on? Well, Eric McKinley, partnering with us on our program. He's got 8,000 businesses going on. You happen to have your dental practice in the new shopping center that he has down there, right beside 2 or 3 of his businesses. But
right next to Stillwaters.
Right next to Stillwaters. But man, you and I have just been talking during the breaks. And again, first of all, we want to thank you for coming up today, and we want to have you on again later on. But you're an international traveler. You're all over the place, and you're not just a dentist. You got your hands in a lot of things. I think you said you own 6 businesses, and it's all dental. But you've worked for professional teams. You worked for college teams. You can't really go into detail about that, but you have worked for some prominent people and some prominent organizations.
Sure. I've been very blessed in this field. 36 years almost now. And God's always had a good finger on my pulse, and here we are, and loving every minute of it. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Well, I had to ask you. The first thing I asked you is, how did you find Lake Martin? How did you find Stillwaters? And I'll just let you tell. You gave a simple answer to me.
It's pretty simple. I ride motorcycles. So I would come up once a month for 3 days and ride my bike and these beautiful country roads and these lovely isolated areas. I loved it. And it wasn't until my son got into the Auburn DO medical program that we decided to move to the lake, and the rest is history. Here we are.
It's a great place to move to, isn't it?
That's
I mean,
right.
we're all blessed to live in this area around Auburn, around Alexander City, around the Lake Martin area, and all the surrounding places. I go off to many places, and I'm always thankful to come home. And I tell people that. I mean, the beach is nice, the mountains are nice. You know, going and visiting, you know, cities, New York, wherever, when you travel, that's great. I love coming back home. I love calling this place home, and now you're home. This is where you call your home now.
Peace and tranquility and nice people. I love it.
So you got a dental practice, like you said. You've been in business for 36 plus years. How can people get in touch? I know. How can they find you, and what do they need to do if they want to come and start using you as their dentist?
Well, listen, that's pretty simple. Everyone knows where Stillwaters is. We're right next door in the new Black Strip Shopping Center. Our website is smilecreator.com, and our company, Smile Creator of Alabama. And we're there. Actually, people still make fun of it. I've got a big blue sign with white letters that says dentist. So you can't miss it from the road. I'm not a barber, and I'm not a plumber. I'm a dentist.
If they confuse you for anything other than a dentist, it's their problem, right?
That's right. That's right.
But so I guess you know, your partnership with Eric. How did you find your way to him? So,
you know, a lot of what I do is solving problems in dentistry. Research and development is one of my key roles, and all the 6 companies are involved in that. We built and developed this dental practice to do some of these research cases as we're developing products and techniques. That has basically blown up into this full-fledged practice, and I love it. We have been searching for another dentist to come in and help out.
Okay.
But here we are. It's all goes hand in hand. You know, I get up early, I go to sleep early, and I do everything in between, all on behalf of the patients, and try to improve what we can do for them. Like I just told you a moment ago, it's all based on the race car mentality.
It is.
You know, you eat good food, and you can get good output out of your body. Same thing in the mouth. You know, if you put something in your mouth and your mouth is sick, it goes into your body sick, and the output isn't as good. So it's all based on that premise.
Well, the start of your health is right there in your mouth.
That's
it.
it.
Where everything starts and stops. And again, a lot of times in the fast-paced world of living in America, we just grab things to go and really don't take into effect how that's going to affect us later down the line. It's not about what's going on in the present. It's about how the long-term effects are going to be.
Listen, I'm going to be 60 in January. It's not as fun as it was when I was 40, but yeah, that's about right.
So, well, before we sign off, Dr. Nilo, again, down there in the Stillwaters area, go check them out. Smile Creator is where you go look you up online. And
SmileCreator.com.
SmileCreator.com, part of the shopping center down there that Eric McKinley, again, part of our programming, been a long-time partner here with us on the Auburn Blitz. I got to ask you, you said your son's at Auburn. So, are you an Auburn fan now?
Well, hell yeah.
There you go. That's why would you say anything different? All right. So, who did you pull for before you moved to Alabama and found Auburn?
Pro teams.
Pro teams. No college teams, really.
No. But this is a college town. So
absolutely.
I had to get into the swing of it.
Well, hopefully, Doc, we're going to be able to get this football program going back in the right direction. Basketball program's top notch right now.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Pearl, he's got it going on.
That's
so,
right.
Really want to thank you again. Thank you so
thanks
much.
for having
It's
me.
nice to have you on the program, Dr. Nilo, SmileCreator.com. Check him out. We'll have him back. He's you got a lot of interesting stories. And we'll get more out of you next time. But again, go check them out down there in the Stillwaters area. Again, I want to thank Wade Bennett for being on with us today. We will be back with you next week for more Auburn Blitz programming. Have a great weekend, everybody. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next time.